Hey, welcome. We are coming to you live from TheWrap with our first inaugural interview in our new studio, and I can't think of a better way to kick it off than with the one and only Jennifer Aniston, star of the critically acclaimed, I shall say, Cake, which will be out in theaters in January. Jennifer, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I feel very honored
Thank you.
to be your very first guest on this lovely stage.
So I want to jump right, well, I have a lot of questions, but I watched the movie for the second time last night. Congrats again on the film, all the buzz you're getting. It's just an amazing performance. Really haunting, really sticks with you. You really feel it. One thing that I noticed watching the movie, you sort of really nailed these mannerisms and you sort of stayed in character, and it's very physical.
Yeah.
What did you draw on? How did you prepare for that?
Well, there was a lot of stages. I had about 6 weeks to really kind of do my homework. And we started with this, there was the physical pain, the sort of the addiction, and then the emotional pain. And so we basically, with the book, I just started with what the accident was, physically what was broken, and located in the body where the pain was, the back.
Yes.
I wore a back brace that actually helped me to be constantly reminded. So it was just like that little tap on my shoulder to keep the body. And honestly, once you start to sort of psychosomatically create pain, it really does sort of manifest itself slightly into your own body. How
long was the shoot? Because sort of this feels like being in a character like that and sort of having to exude all of that pain on screen. What was that like going home after the end of the day of all that shooting?
I was pretty grateful to just, it's hard to even remember going home because we shot for 25 days. We would, the days were long. We would get into a car, barely make it home, go to sleep. I'd get kisses from my animals, and then fall into bed and come right back to it.
Right back to it.
So it's sort of like this wonderful,
So last week at the Cinematheque, you wowed everybody. The audiences were pretty, as I read, like gobsmacked, and rightfully so after watching the performance. But Jason Bateman, who your I guess like four-time screen partner.
Four-time screen partner and 20 years plus friends.
Yeah, he nailed it as the moderator, but he had said something. He did. He said something interesting though. He was basically, I knew you were capable of doing this, that you could do a role like this. But you had said to him you didn't think you could bring to that role, like say 5 or 10 years ago, what you brought to it now. What did you mean by that?
Right.
Yes.
I just feel, it just felt like it was the right time. I think it's all about wisdom. It's all about life experience, and I just don't know. Maybe I could have. I just feel like I was able to, today, where I sit today, who I am today, I was able to really fully give life to this character that I may not have been able to do 10 years ago, just because I hadn't had the,
more life experience, more living, more
living, more, experiencing pain, experiencing loss. It's sort of like a collection of all of those experiences over our lives that you sort of put into your emotional little backpack that you dip into for different parts.
When you sort of said Hollywood sort of pigeonholes almost certain actors or actresses into certain roles, do you almost feel at this point in your career, because of sort of the TV superstardom and sort of being this global...
I was in people's living rooms every week for 10 years, and now, every day.
Yes, still today.
Still there. So I understand that's a hard shift to make, or also to sort of not see that person. I would think that's extremely normal, but for me, so I've had to maybe, again, like I said, sort of disappear a little deeper into someone else in order to see that. But that's going farther and farther, hopefully, into the distance.
Do you feel, though, to a certain level in Hollywood, when it comes to film in particular, in these kinds of roles, that you feel you've had to work harder to prove yourself than maybe, say, an actress that just normally was, like you said, you're not the go-to for a role like that. So do you feel to a certain level you've had to work a little harder to kind of prove, yes, I can do this?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I'm up for the challenge. I don't mind it. It excites me, actually.
Absolutely.
Because it's also saying, asking myself, can I do that?
Yes.
So even though it's a risk and even though it's terrifying, I can't not take those creative risks that are important for me artistically and creatively, because for fear that the world is going to just point their fingers and laugh and go, we knew you couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it.
Who do you think you are?
Jennifer, thank you so much for stopping by TheWrap. We really appreciate this.
I've loved being here.
Thank you.
On your maiden voyage.
Thank you.
And stage.
Can you just tell fans where they can catch the movie in theaters?
Yes, you can catch the movie January 23rd, 2015.